We just thought it would be fun to tell a little bit of our story, since so many people that we know don't really know too much.
Yeah, about one of us or both of us, or
about our story. But ignore the critter.
Ignore that. So we became good friends in kind of an online community of Mormons and former Mormons, just exploring and expanding their spirituality.
Yeah, just a lot of people who similar religious background, but finding that the confines of the church were a little stifling. And I had an anonymous account that was kind of really looked at exploring that kind of expansive spirituality. I was trying to basically not get in trouble for saying unorthodox things. But as I really got to know people more in that space, the anonymity kind of got in the way. At one point I was invited to attend a wedding of somebody that I had come to know in that space, and I went, but I didn't get to talk with anybody because I had to maintain my anonymity. And I'm like, this kind of sucks. So I decided to let down the anonymity, which was hard to do because I was worried about what people would think, because people like Charlotte thought I was a woman.
Yeah, and a lot of people did, I think. And that took a minute to process when I did find out that you were not a woman.
Yeah. So I was worried. I remember saying to Charlotte, gosh, I hope that we can still be friends. and her immediate response was sort of like, we'll see.
Yeah, kind of. There isn't a lot of space within the confines of the church community for divergent ways of thinking and belief. And so when you find yourself in that space, finding even just one person who understands your situation and is at least empathetic is a big deal.
So I ended up moving to Georgia so that we could kind of be friends in real life.
Yeah.
We both were needing that kind of support, and it went really well.
Yeah.
So
I think even before we knew who before I knew who you were.
When I was just an anonymous
When
Instagram
you were an
account.
anonymous account, it was really just the sensitivity and the empathy and your advocacy for both justice and morality and ethics. That was refreshing to find by anybody, but just especially somebody from our tradition and our heritage. It was something I was definitely needing and looking for in friendships and just support community, for sure.
Yeah, and I got the same thing from Charlotte. She's always very passionate about marginalized communities and kind of addressing inequality, but also just doing it from a place of so much artistry and creativity, and her poetic way with words, and just very spiritually wise, and also very funny. And so silly and funny, and so those are the things I think that made me, every time, mostly she would post either just sort of just random thoughts when I'm out on a walk, or stuff about her art, but every once in a while she would post some really deep thoughts. I'm like, wow, I love her brain. We discovered after we got to know each other in real life that, holy cow, we have so much in common.
Yeah. We were both born in the same hospital in Long Beach Memorial.
Yeah, Long Beach, California, a couple thousand miles away from where we are now. We both happened to be born in the same hospital, grew up in the same, just a few miles away from each other, but didn't really know that at the time.
And we had the same pediatrician.
Yeah. Crazy.
And I think we've both visited each other's childhood chapels, which is also mind-blowing.
My grandparents lived in her neighborhood, went to her chapel.
Probably knew my grandparents.
My grandmother's funeral was in her chapel. I, of course, didn't know that at the time.
Yeah.
We both have Mormon pioneer ancestry, so we come from that whole tradition. we both are at the stage of life where we have adult kids, and
Yeah.
that's a whole new thing. And so we can sort of help each other figure that out because we're just learning as we go. And we both discovered that we're huge fans of Lord of the Rings
Yes.
and Star Wars and superhero movies.
Mhm.
We both like a lot of 80s and 90s rock and pop
Yes.
music. There's so many times where we're just like, oh, you like that too? Well, of course
you do.
We like the same silly, funny movies. Three Amigos, Napoleon Dynamite, we like Simpsons.
Well, and I think we also found that we both love chai, which was funny that we arrived at chai and not like coffee or any other kind of tea, but it was chai.
Yeah.
That we both were like, oh, you like chai too?
Yeah, when I first talked about coming out to Georgia, I said, yeah, I'll take you out for coffee. And she's like, okay, that's fine. And when we actually met, she's like, actually, I'm not really into coffee. I really love chai. I'm like, me too. We both like jazz and blues. We've been to some
great concerts.
Yeah, jazz and blues show, I think.
Yes.
We both love ice cream and dark chocolate and black licorice.
Yeah, that's another weird one that we both like black licorice.
That's pretty odd.
We're foodies and we're adventurers too. I think that's what.
We like to travel.
We like to travel.
Love nature, doing hikes and bike rides, and
we both like learning, which I appreciate. We both are not scared to try new things.
Yeah. We both love reading and talking about what we read. We have deep conversations all the time. She gets me, and
and to feel like we have someone in our corner for the things we'd like to see in the world and for ourselves, and that means a lot to have somebody who supports you. So we had started dating last fall.
Yeah.
Right? And
about just over a year ago.
Yeah.
So after hanging out for about 6 months, we decided to start dating.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got engaged about 9 months after that.
Yes. Yeah, like I think once we started dating, we're like, yeah, we could get married. Like, this will work.
It's interesting too because from the religious background, marriage was an obligation. It was a religious obligation, essential for your salvation, etc. Once you get rid of that, then it's like, okay, so what is it for?
Yeah.
Why do we want to do it? And for me, it was like I want everyone in my life to know that she's my partner. She's the person that I'm spending my life with.
It is just about saying, this is my person, and I want to be with them for the rest of my life. And
that's how our society is set up.
Simple.
And I want the law. I want every institution that I come in contact with to know she is my person. This is who I share my life with.
Yeah. We're both really big Lord of the Rings fans. So last Christmas, I gifted David a Lord of the Rings trip. It was a stay at a hobbit hole in Asheville and attending a Bilbo Baggins birthday party in South Carolina, about a 2 hour drive, hour and a half drive from the hobbit hole.
Just over the border into South Carolina.
So we were gonna stay in this hobbit hole and then go to this birthday party for Bilbo Baggins, and it wasn't until September of this year. And I think as we started dating and then realizing that we wanted to get married, we're like, we're actually going to be out of town in a really great location in September.
What could be better for two Lord of the Rings nerds than to get married
at a hobbit hole?
We decided to just elope because, again, back with our original, when we got married decades ago, it was a religious obligation, and it was very much about fulfilling the expectations of the church community, family, everybody. And it was pretty much mostly laid out for you.
Yeah, you didn't get to make a lot of choices.
So we just, you know what, we just want this to be about us. This is our moment, and we don't want to have to worry about anyone else's expectations. The bare minimum is we need to have a legal officiant. And then after that, we can just do whatever
we want.
we want to do. Yeah. We got our marriage license it was a week before.
A week before. So we went to Asheville to get our marriage license at the Buncombe County Court of Records, or
so North Carolina was the last state
to drop their
ban on gay marriage. And it was
at that county courthouse.
It was at that courthouse that
the last ban fell.
That it was declared unconstitutional. And so that was the last place in the country where gay marriage ban got thrown out. This is so great because both of us really got to know each other in this space where we interacted with lots of queer people who I think for both of us have really been examples to us of kind of being authentic and living your life on your own terms. And that to me has just been such a huge gift that the queer community has given me. And so to get our license in a place that the queer community finally overcame the last barrier toward nationwide recognition of marriage equality.
It
was really meaningful.
Yeah, we chose Amanda Jones. I liked her because she's non-religious, queer affirming, and she's a licensed therapist. And I just liked that she was very much about giving us the freedom to craft our ceremony the way we wanted to. She was just, I loved her.
People that are openly queer affirming to me tells me that they're open-minded and they are leaning into love rather than judgment and exclusion, and that just says a lot to me about somebody. And the other thing that was really important, I wanted to have lots of music. You know, our traditional weddings decades ago were very kind of solemn occasions. I wanted it to be joyful and fun. We both love music and not church music, but just like really fun music. And so we found this lesbian couple that are incredible guitarists and singers, professional, and had them come and play these amazing, cool guitar covers of classic black soul music. I've learned so much from the Black American community about resilience, about resistance through joy. Like this classic black soul music to me has been so impactful because it was created at a time when Jim Crow was maybe at its worst. Civil rights marchers were being hosed down with fire hoses, etc.
And they were still in the streets in joy.
We were surrounded by nature.
Yeah, we wanted to be married outside, and we had perfect weather. Perfect weather for it.
This beautiful view of this valley where Asheville is, and the Appalachia right there, the mountains.
And waking up in the morning, the mist was there, and it was like in between the trees, and you could go outside the door, and it was like this nice, thick, magical little view.
The mist covering
very pretty.
The valley there, and it was just relaxing. We wanted to have some sort of ritual, but we can create our own because it's not being dictated by an institution or a tradition or anything.
Because we're creating a whole new life together, and in a way we're creating whole new lives for ourselves. We wanted to craft some sort of ritual or symbolic way of marking this moment. And so we chose both a sand ceremony and a tree planting ceremony.
Yeah, so we collected sand from different phases of our life, where we grew up in Southern California, Colorado River Basin, Utah, Arizona, and then here on the East Coast, the southern United States. And that was really fun. And mixing those together to kind of just represent the journeys that we've taken so far and what's brought us to where we're at, and then planting a tree.
Yeah, and so like the sand is kind of a symbol for our past, the bonsai tree is for our future, and it's a living reminder in our home that our marriage is also something that's alive and requires a lot of care and attention every single day. And this bonsai does require like daily care. And I love that it's right in our kitchen. That reminds me always to pay attention to David and the relationship that's between us, and what does it need today? It's life-giving, because I mean the tree gives us life and we give it life in the same way that our relationship is also very life-giving, as long as we sustain it and care for it.
And it's a living thing that's always evolving. It's always changing and growing, and it's not static. And that's how our relationship is. And
it's going to look different next year than it did.
And we have the power to shape it. We can decide that we want it to be better in some way, or different, or whatever. And so it's a great symbol. After everything's all over, again, there's no guests. So our musicians left, our photographer, videographer left, our officiant left. And so we just found this amazing little Italian restaurant downtown Nashville.
We went in our clothes. We were all fancy. So we went to a nice downtown Italian restaurant. We got to eat outside in the rain under a canopy. And there was like a jazz artist on the street. And
it was pouring rain, but we were under this canopy. There was a jazz musician playing a few feet away. It was so great.
And it felt very poetic, because when we got engaged, we also got engaged in a rainstorm.
That is true.
To a singer.
At a restaurant.
At a restaurant.
Under a canopy.
With a jazz singer.
with a singer.
Yeah. David is changing his name to match mine. I changed my name after my divorce. I decided to rename myself. Choosing a name for myself was super empowering. So I chose Alba because it's a very old name. It comes from two of my ancestor groups, both in Scotland and in Italy. And it means dawn, like the morning, and rainbow. And I liked that idea of a dawn of a new day being
like an emerging light. It's Alba. Kind of refers to a light or whiteness that's emerging out of darkness.
Out of darkness. And so it meant a lot for me to choose that for myself. And I think as David got to know me, and he thought that was kind of a cool idea.
So one of my mantras for life that I've had for years now is that tradition is a terrible reason to do anything. And that we should be purposeful and intentional about the things that we do, and not just do it because, well, that's what other people have done. That's not a good enough reason. Women never get to choose their name, ever. They're given names by other people. And to me, there's just something really wrong about that. And I think it's very symbolic for us to share, for a couple that's joined like this, to share a name. But I like the idea that we choose the name. We choose the name. And I just wanted to, affirm my belief in equality by not, expecting my spouse, my female spouse, to, take on my name just because that's what our patriarchal culture does. So I'll use the last name I was born with as my new middle name, and then I'll have this new surname. So it'll be David Houghton Alba, and I think that will reflect where I come from and my connection to my kids, but will allow me to also reflect this new phase of my life and being joined with Charlotte. So we get to decide what we want to do with our life. We don't have to just take whatever has been given to us, and as we recognize the values that we share, our belief in equality, our belief in justice, our belief in goodness and decency, our belief in goodwill, and all kinds of things. Really, we were drawn to Canada because those are the values that Canada seems to really hold dear. Peacemaking, and so we decided that that's where we want to make our new life. And fortunately, Canada has a fast track to permanent residency and citizenship for medical professionals. So we got in on that, and I got a hospital job in coastal British Columbia, very close to the U.S. border. and we found a house in the woods right near the ocean. It's a really beautiful place. Yeah, we've gotten to know each other's kids now, and we found a house where we've got enough room for our kids to come visit, or anybody to come visit.
Anybody to come
It's
visit.
a beautiful place, and we
Yeah.
want to have visitors. And Charlotte has set up.
Yeah, I've set up a Substack for both of us that we'll be sharing all our adventures of becoming Canadians and that whole new phase of our lives. So this will be an exciting adventure, I think, to share for sure. But we are very excited about providing opportunities for our children and our grandchildren, but also our friends and closest, confidence to come to a safe place if they ever feel like they need to or come on vacation. But we wanted to create a community center where people could come and feel welcome.
I went to Canada for my first time to go and meet the people I was going to be working with and to find us a house. Charlotte wasn't able to go yet, unfortunately, but I just fell in love. I fell in love with the Vancouver area, with BC, and we're both so excited. I feel so at home with Charlotte. Like, I just feel like it just feels like, hand in glove. Just feels like when you put on a perfect pair of shoes. It just fits so well. And I felt the same way about being up there in BC. It just felt like, I feel like I'm home. I feel like we just belong here. This is a place where we can thrive. And so, really excited.
Yeah, we're super excited. Love you.
Love you.